The world is quiet, just before the sun. In this hushed moment, a journey begins. Not a journey of miles, but of spirit. We join the seeker, standing at the foot of a colossal mountain, its peak hidden by the morning mist. There are no fanfares, no crowds. Just the whisper of the wind and the steady beat of a heart ready to test its limits. This isn't just about climbing a mountain, it's about confronting the mountain within. The first step is always the hardest. The air is crisp, biting at the skin. Each breath is a conscious effort, a cloud of white against the dim light. The path is barely visible, a faint trail winding upwards through ancient trees. The sounds of the waking forest are the only companions, the rustle of leaves, the distant call of a bird. The seeker moves with a deliberate slowness, each footfall a promise to keep going. There's a weight carried, not just in the pack, but in the soul. It's the weight of past struggles, of doubts, of fears. But with every step, there's a quiet defiance, a refusal to be anchored by what was. This is a pilgrimage of one, for one. As the sun begins its slow ascent, casting long, distorted shadows across the trail, the true nature of the climb reveals itself. The gentle slope gives way to a steep, unforgiving incline. Rocks, sharp and loose, threaten to betray each step. The muscles in the legs begin to burn, a fiery protest against the relentless demand for more. The air thins, and each gasp for breath feels insufficient, a desperate plea for oxygen. This is the struggle, the part of the journey where the mind begins to question the body. A voice, insidious and familiar, whispers doubts. Why are you doing this? It's too hard. You're not strong enough. Turn back. It's the voice of comfort, of the easy path, the path that leads back down to the familiar. The seeker pauses, leaning heavily on a trekking pole, sweat stinging the eyes. The temptation to give in is immense. It would be so simple to turn around, to descend back into the valley where the air is thick and life is predictable. But then, a memory surfaces. A moment of past failure, the sting of giving up. The face of someone who said it couldn't be done. It's not anger that fuels the next step, but a quiet, stubborn resolve. A resolve to prove that voice wrong. Not the voice of others, but the one inside. The seeker looks up, not at the peak, which is still invisible, but just a few feet ahead. Just to that next tree, becomes the mantra. Just over this next ledge. The monumental task is broken down into a series of small, manageable victories. Each one, a quiet triumph. The forest begins to thin, giving way to an exposed, windswept ridge. The world opens up. Below, the valley is a tapestry of green and gold, now distant and small. The scale of the ascent becomes real. The seeker has climbed high, but the ridge is a new kind of challenge. The wind howls, a physical force pushing, trying to unbalance, to instill fear. There's no shelter here, just the raw, untamed power of nature. The path narrows to a sliver, with a dizzying drop on either side. Every movement must be precise, deliberate. This is where focus is everything. The mind can't afford to wander. It must be present, in this exact moment, on this exact patch of rock. The physical exhaustion is now a constant companion, a dull ache that has settled deep into the bones. But something else is happening. A shift. The constant noise of the world, the clutter of daily life, has been stripped away by the wind and the altitude. All that's left is the rhythm of breathing, the beat of the heart, the crunch of boots on gravel. A strange clarity begins to emerge from the exhaustion. Thoughts become simpler, purer. The why of the journey starts to fade, replaced by the simple, undeniable is. I am here. I am climbing. I am moving forward. It's a meditative state, born from extreme effort. The seeker finds a rhythm with the mountain, no longer fighting it, but moving with it. There are moments of raw beauty that steal the breath away more than the thin air ever could. A resilient wildflower, blooming in a crack in the rock. An eagle, soaring effortlessly on the wind currents that the seeker battles against. These small wonders are fuel. They are reminders that life persists, that beauty exists even in the harshest of places. They are signs. They say, you are on the right path. Keep going. The emotional walls, built up over years, begin to crumble. A tear freezes on a cheek, not from sadness, but from a profound sense of connection to this wild, unforgiving, beautiful place. The final push. The summit is now visible, a crown of rock against the vast, blue canvas of the sky. It seems so close, yet it feels impossibly far. This is the cruelest trick the mountain plays. The body is screaming to stop. Every muscle fiber is depleted. The will is frayed. This is the point of surrender, but not of defeat. It is a surrender of the ego, the part of the self that wants to conquer, to dominate. What replaces it is humility, an understanding that one does not conquer a mountain. One is merely granted passage. The pace slows to a crawl. Each step is a monumental effort of will. The world narrows to the few feet of rock ahead. The sounds of the wind, the pounding heart, the rasping breath, all merge into a single symphony of struggle. The seeker falls to their knees, hands on the rough granite, not in defeat, but to gather the last reserves of strength. Looking up, seeing the final few feet, a primal cry escapes the lips, a cry of pain, of effort, of defiance, of everything that has been poured into this single-minded pursuit. And then, one final step, and another, and suddenly, there is no more up. The seeker stands on the summit. The world stretches out in every direction, a breathtaking panorama of peaks and valleys, clouds and sky. The wind is still present, but it no longer feels like an adversary. It feels like an embrace. The struggle is over. The noise is gone. There is only silence, a deep, profound silence that sinks into the soul. The exhaustion is still there, a heavy blanket on the body, but it's matched by an incredible lightness of being. The weight that was carried up the mountain, the doubts, the fears, the burdens of the past, it's all gone. Left somewhere on the slopes below, shed like an old skin. Sitting on the highest point, looking out at the infinite horizon, the seeker finally understands. The goal was never the summit. The summit is just a pile of rocks. The real destination was the journey itself. The struggle, the pain, the moments of despair, and the small victories that kept the fire alive. That was the point. The climb wasn't about escaping life. It was about finding it in its most raw and potent form. A sense of peace settles in, deep and unshakable. It's not the fleeting happiness of achievement, but a quiet, enduring clarity. The problems of the world below seem distant, manageable. The path forward, in life, seems clearer. The mountain has not given answers. It has simply cleared away the noise so the seeker could hear the answers that were there all along. The journey down will be different. The seeker will descend not as the same person who began the climb at dawn, but as someone reborn, forged in the crucible of the mountain, tempered by the wind, and polished by the struggle. This is the journey of resilience. It's the story of falling down and getting back up, over and over again. It's the proof that within each of us lies a strength we may never know we have, until we are faced with our own mountain. And we choose to climb. Thank you for joining this journey. If you find strength in stories like this, consider subscribing. There are many more mountains to climb together.